everyone, it's Nadia from YARNutopia. Today we're making the warm waffles hand warmers. As you can see here, these are so beautiful, and using the waffle stitch, hence the name, waffles, we are making these beautiful hand warmers, which are really long actually. I'll try it on for you so you can see how long they are, and you can see in the photos how they turned out. So lovely. And actually you can see here we seam it up, so we make a rectangular form and we're working in rows, and then we seam up this side and then make a nice little thumb hole and make a thumb opening for our thumb. So it's really nice, and they're very long. You don't have to make them this long. This is a repeat pattern, so you can make these as short or long as you want, and these are in the multiple of 4, so you can make these for a smaller hand or a bigger hand. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I was just outside and it's so lovely and snowy and cold, so there it is. Beautiful. So these are the hand warmers we're going to work with today, and you can see how lovely they are. So I'll get into the supplies we need and we'll get into making these. So I'm going to be using this I size hook, which is 5.5mm. As you can see here, it has a nice handy wooden handle that is ergonomic. Actually, it's handmade by the Etsy shop Would Be Fancy. I'll put the link to the Etsy shop where you can get these hooks online in the description of this video, so you can click that and favorite the shop. And these hooks go out so fast, they are selling like hotcakes, so make sure you favorite that shop and get a hook like this on their shop. These hooks are fixed in the handle, so you'll have to get you know, the specific size. If you want to make these, you can get this I hook, which is 5.5mm, or they have different sizes as well. You're also going to need a yarn needle and a scissor to cut your yarn and sew in your ends. These tools just come in handy when we cut our yarn and all that, changing yarn and everything, and sewing up the seam exactly is what we're going to need that for. So the yarn I'm using today is this colorful, beautiful yarn. Here's the label. I actually used an entire skein of this, so yep, there's 218 yards in this project, and you will need all of the yarn for these fingerless gloves. So I'm using Willow Yarns Dappled, and this color is called Electric. And if you saw the Warm Waffles Hooded Cowl video tutorial, I used the same yarn in that. So you can get the written pattern for this, and it will have in the materials section what type of yarn you'll need. This is a thinner yarn. It's not very thick, so you could use size 3 light yarn or a size 4 worsted weight yarn, which is like a double knitting yarn. So you can use those types of yarns for this project, and it works up really nicely. And like I said, it's in a multiple of 4, so you can basically use any type of yarn that you want to, and it's in measurements also. So however long you want to make these and however wide you want to make these. So these are so lovely. I'm obsessed with these. So that's the yarn we're using. Like I said, you'll need all 218 yards. So if you are not using the specific yarn, you can use any yarn and just use up to 218 yards of that. You're also going to, let's see here, frequently asked questions about sizing. These measure, let me measure these out for you. I'll take one off. Here are the measurements. Mine is 13 inches long, and I measured my forearm, and actually it's 10 inches around stretched, but not stretched. It's about 8 inches around, but this is quite stretchy, so this stretches around all the way. And then the thumb length is only 1 inch, so that's about 3 centimeters. Okay, in length, but you can make that as long as you want to go as high as you want on your thumb, and that's just 5 rows, but you can do up to 10 rows if you want to. Cover your whole thumb if you want, I don't care. So those are the measurements of this piece, but like I said, it's a repeat pattern, it's by measurements, it's by multiples of 4, you can make these any size you want. Also, the nail polish that is on my fingers today is NYC, or New York color, and this specific color that I'm using is Prince Prince Street. So if you want to get the same color of nail polish as me, this nice purple color, you can get this online or at any drugstore probably. Just find New York color in Prince Street and get that. And lastly, before we start, I have to say a big huge thank you to my dad, Fuad, as much for taking the time to make this video with us. He is our videographer, editor, and photographer for all of our videos. So make sure you subscribe to our channel here on YouTube, and make sure you follow me on Facebook and Instagram. All those links are in the description of this video if you're watching it on YouTube. If you're watching this on YARNutopia.com, check out all the links below this video to my Facebook, Instagram, Ravelry, Pinterest, all those places. Make sure you're following me so you can get the update on when we post our next tutorial and our next project, because we have so many great things up our sleeves. Sleeves. Anyway, so let's get started and make these warm waffle hand warmers. Alright, so I measured my forearm around here, and it was about 10 inches, so that is how long I need to make my beginning chain. So to start out by making your foundation chain, we are going to start with a slip knot. So put your short end over your long end, fold that down and pull that through and pull tight. Insert your hook and we can start. So like I said, my forearm is about 10 inches around, and this is in a multiple of 4 for the pattern. So I am going to chain 28, which is a multiple of 4, plus 2. Okay, so chain something that's in a multiple of 4 plus 2. So I'm going to chain 30. So yarn over and pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, here's 3, oopsie, there's 4, 5, 6, 7. I won't make you watch me do all 30 chains, but just measure your forearm and chain the amount that will fit around it in a multiple of 4 plus 2. So I'll meet you up when I have 30 chains. Alright, so I have my 30 chains, so this is what it should look like. And if you want to, chain your amount and then wrap the chain around your arm where you want the piece to end. Okay, and stretch it out, and that is going to fit nice and perfectly. There will be a little bit of room in there, which will be nice to slide up and down my hand, just like that. Okay, so that's going to fit around me. So we want to go on to the next step of double crocheting across our chain. So to do that, we need to find the 4th chain from the hook and double crochet in there and across. So the loop on the hook doesn't count as a chain. So count 1, 2, 3, and 4. This 4th chain right here, we're going to yarn over, go into that chain. Okay, you can go in the top of it, in one loop, in both loops, however you feel comfortable. Then yarn over and pull through. And then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, that is a double crochet. I'll show you again. Yarn over, go into the next chain, so we're double crocheting across the chain here. Yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 more loops, and there's your double crochet. So at the end of this row we'll have 28 stitches in total, because I chained 28 plus 2, so that was 30 chains. So we'll have 28 stitches, because this first stitch way over here, it looks like a chain up 3, 1, 2, 3. That is a stitch. Okay, that's considered a stitch in this project. So I'm just going to double crochet across my foundation row here, and then I will meet you up when we go on to row 2. Alright, just finishing row 1 here, and now we are going to turn our work around. So now our row looks like this. Okay, and we're going to go on to row 2. So for row 2, we need to front post, well actually chain up 3 first for our first stitch. So yarn over, pull through 1, 2, and 3, and that is going to count as our first double crochet of this row, and here and throughout. Any chain up 3 at the beginning of a row is counted as a stitch, so that's basically in this stitch right here. So now our next stitch is going to be worked around this stitch right here. We're going to make a front post double crochet. So yarn over, go on this side of the post around it, then yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through those other 2 loops. Okay, that is a front post double crochet. Now we are going to put a regular double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So yarn over, go actually into the stitch itself, then yarn over and pull through, then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Again, yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And again, double crochet in the next stitch. And then we're just going to repeat that across. So front post double crochet on the next stitch. So yarn over, go on the side of the post around the actual post itself. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, that's our front post double crochet. And then we're just going to put a regular double crochet in the next 3 stitches. Okay, and we're just going to do that all the way across. Very simple. And if you've seen the Warm Waffles hooded cowl that I just posted, you can see that we are using the same technique in these fingerless gloves. So I'm just going to continue working that pattern across, and then I will meet you up to go on to row 3. When you're finishing this row 2, you see you're doing your repeat pattern. So we're doing the front post, then 3 double crochets, then front post, then 3 double crochets. But when you finish, we are only going to have 3 stitches left. So we're going to do our front post, just like we would. And then we're going to double crochet in the last 2 stitches. Okay, so just double crochet in this last stitch right here. And then that chain up 3. Remember how I demonstrated in the beginning here, this is a stitch right here. So 1, 2, 3, right at the top chain of that. It might be kind of difficult to see it and to find it. Just go into that. Okay, so there's 2 loops on the top of your hook and 1 loop underneath your hook. I don't know if you can see that. There it is. So there's 1 loop right there underneath your hook and then 2 loops on the top of your hook. Go into that, yarn over and pull through, okay, and then finish off your double crochet, just like that. So there is row 2. Awesome. Now going on to row 3, we're going to make this waffly look to it. So we're going to chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3, turn the work around, and on these regular double crochet stitches, this is a regular double crochet in a stitch right there, we're going to put a front post double crochet on it. So yarn over, go on the side of the post around it, yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. And then on these stitches that it actually looks now like a back post double crochet. In row 2 it was a front post double crochet. It looks like a back post now that we're looking at the back of our work. We're going to put a regular double crochet in those stitches. So yarn over, go into that stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, just a regular double crochet. But the stitches that are regular double crochets here, these next 3 stitches, we are going to put a front post double crochet on each one of those. So yarn over, go on the side of this next one right here, around it, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So we're doing a front post double crochet on each one of these 3 stitches. 1, 2, and last one here, 3. And then we're just going to repeat that across. So this next stitch looks like a back post double crochet stitch, just like that. We're going to put a regular double crochet in that one. So right at the top of the stitch, in there, making a double crochet. Then on these next 3 stitches, this stitch right here, this stitch right here, and this stitch right here, you are going to put a front post double crochet around each one of those. So 1, here's 2, and here's 3. Alright, and then we're just going to repeat that across. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll meet you up for row 4. Alright, so I'm coming up on the end of row 3 here, and you can see that this stitch right here needs a regular double crochet because it looks like a back post stitch anyway. And then we have our chain up 3 right here, 1, 2, 3, and it should be a front post stitch, but since it is just a chain up 3 here, we're just going to put a regular double crochet into it. So remember how I showed you the last row, we're going to go through both of those top loops. Okay, so there's one loop underneath the hook and 2 on top. We're going to yarn over and pull through that, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. And that completes row 3. So you can see that this is the inside. This is what's going to be on the aka wrong side, or WR, or yeah, WS I guess would be wrong side. And this is going to be the inside of our fingerless glove. So now we're going to turn our work around, and you can see the outside here. You can see that's starting to make the waffle stitch design with these. We made those front post stitches, so it made it really pop right here with this line. And you can see our front post stitches also here make a really popping square design. So now we're going to go on to row 4, and it's very similar to row 2. So what we're going to do is chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3, and on the regular double crochet stitch, which is this one right here, we're going to put a front post double crochet. So yarn over, go around the post, and make your front post double crochet. And then on these 3 stitches here, which look like back post stitches now, they were front post stitches in the last row, but these next 3 stitches are going to get a regular double crochet. So yarn over, go into the actual stitch and not around the post, and make a double crochet in there. So there's 1, next one is 2, and this next one is 3. Okay, and then we're going to just repeat what we just did. So front post double crochet on the next stitch, and then double crochet in the next 3 stitches, and then front post double crochet on the next stitch, and regular double crochet in the next 3 stitches, and just do that all the way across. And when I finish row 4, I will show you how to finish this row, and then we'll go on to row 5. Alright, so you can see how we did the repeat across here. So we have this last chain up 3 stitch to work in, and we worked a regular double crochet into this stitch right here that looks like a back post stitch right here. We're just going to work a regular double crochet in the chain up 3. So count 1, 2, 3 right in the top here. Just go in this loop and this loop. There we go. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so now rows 5 through 30 are just repeating rows 3 and 4. Okay, so you can see here we did rows 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we are going to be just repeating rows 3 and 4 now. So for row 5, just chain up 3 and repeat row 3, making the front post stitches on the regular double crochets and double crocheting in the stitches that look like back post stitches, and that's basically for both rows. So then when you finish this row, you'll really see the design of the waffle stitch on this piece, so that's exciting. So when I get through this, I'm going to do rows 5 through 30 off camera. I'm already on row 5 here, so I guess I'm doing part of row 5 on camera. But then I'll finish the rest of this off camera doing just a repeat of rows 3 and 4. So if you need to rewind this to see how we did those rows, you can certainly do that. And then once you get to finishing row 30, I will meet you up and we'll go on to the next step together. Alright, that was pretty fast. Just kidding, I had this piece done off camera. But this is what it should look like when you finish row 30, so if you want to see that. So we have rows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. So you should have 30 rows, and you can see the fabulous waffle design, the waffle stitch design. Looks really cool on this side. This is the outside of our hand warmer, and then you can see the opposite side is not, I mean, it's still pretty, but it's not as exciting, and you can't really see the waffle design. That's why it's called the waffle stitch, because you can see those really nice divots in there, those squares, so it looks really cool. So now, and I'm absolutely loving this yarn, by the way, just the color changes are so gradual and beautiful, so I really like this. So now, going on to the next step, what we have to do actually is fasten this off. It's a big rectangle and it doesn't look like a fingerless glove yet, but it will, I promise. To fasten off, we're going to fasten off with a really long tail. You can see there I just chained up one, and we're going to fasten off with a really long tail to sew this down the side. So I'm just going to cut that yarn. And then since we chained one, I kept my hook in there, I'm going to actually pull that through, okay? So I'm going to pull and just keep pulling until all of that yarn that I just cut comes all the way through. And I probably cut this way too long, but whatever. Better be safe than sorry and not have a short end there. So you can see I pulled that tight. Okay, so this is what your piece should look like now. We have a big long end. We're going to grab our yarn needle and yarn our needle with this strand that we just cut. Okay, we're going to sew down the seam. So to do that, you want to basically measure your hand on this and see where you want your thumb hole. Okay, so you want to, I'm going to probably put it right in here. Let me make sure I have it on my other one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see 4 kind of waffly sections down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is where I want my thumb hole to be. So what you can do is take a piece of yarn, kind of go around this post here, and that is where we're going to have our thumb hole. Now what we need to do, let me tie this around here, or you can put a stitch marker there if you have like a legit stitch marker or something, but you can mark that section, and that is where we want our thumb hole to lie. Okay, when we go like this, and this will come all the way down up to our elbow, which will be really long. And if you want to make these shorter, you can. You don't have to make them go all the way up to your elbow if you don't want them to, but that's how long I did mine, 30 rows in total. So now what we need to do is flip this around, so we're looking at the inside, and then we're going to fold it in half, like that, okay? And now we have our yarn needle all set here. Oopsie. Fold that in half just like that. And now we're going to actually mattress stitch this. So we have our marked section right here. That's where our thumb hole is going. You want to line up both sides so you can see these ribs right here, these lines. You want them to line up. So this ribbing right here is going to line up with this side. Okay, so just line them up really nicely. And to mattress stitch, we're going to go through one side, so this opposite side right here, just through wherever your needle will fit, right? So I'm just pulling through the thread now, threading that through, going from the inside out, okay? And that's what mattress stitch is. We're going from the inside out and going to this opposite side now, right here. We're going in from the inside out and just pull. It's going to be a lot of pulling, a lot of sewing here down this seam. So to go to the other side now, this opposite side, going from the inside out. And I like the mattress stitch only because it's just a really nice flat stitch and you won't really see the seam as much. If you want to, you can whip stitch this too. You can also single crochet it closed, working it from the inside, like inside out, and that way you won't see anything. You won't see the seam at all. So it's really just close this however you feel most comfortable doing. I'm doing the mattress stitch as you can see here, just going in from the inside out of one layer and then coming back around to the other side and going from the inside out. Okay, so I'm just going to do this all the way through, actually not all the way through because we have a thumb hole to worry about. So once I get, I'm just going to do this little section here. Once I get to where my thumb hole, I want my thumb hole to be, I'll show you exactly what you need to do for that, and we'll get past that thumb hole and then we'll sew up the rest of the fingerless glove. Alright, so I got to the point where I have my marked section of where I want my thumb hole, so now I'm just going to remove that little marker, just like that. And now you can see here, I have my lines all matched up, so you can see my sections, you can see the seam is right here, okay? And we have sections, we have this line across here, this line across here, and then this line across here, okay? Now this next section, I want to have my thumb hole. So that's this section until this line. So it really is only one section, which is 2 rows. You can see this row and this row. So we need to just skip over that. So whatever side you're on, if you're on this side or this side, doesn't matter. We're just going to weave it through one of these sides. So I'm just going to weave through until the next section. Just like that. Boom, done. Simple. Okay, don't pull too tight on that. You want to actually stretch it out so that there is room for your thumb to fit through there. And then line it up again. Okay, to the other side. And then just continue on working your mattress stitch or whatever stitch you're doing. If you're doing a whip stitch or mattress stitch, just continue on the way you would. Just like that. And there you have a nice little thumb hole right there. Okay, so you can pull that, you know, tighter now that it is secure and everything looks good. And now we can just continue working this mattress stitch or whatever stitch you're doing all the way down this whole piece now. And then once I get to the very end of this side, I will show you how to fasten that off and we can go on to the next step together. Alright, I'm just finishing up here, just sewed this all the way closed. Now we can fasten this off. So what I need to do is go underneath some stitches, just go from anywhere really, just this stitch and this stitch right here. Okay, hold up that loop, just like that, and then come back around through that loop, and then tie it off, just like that. Pull it tight. And then you can do that, you know, 2 or 3 or 4 times, however many you want to do, just to feel comfortable so that it doesn't unravel. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is cut this short. And you know what? I have a straggler here too, so I think I might just tie those 2 in a knot. Just to have it secure. Take any stragglers you have and weave in any loose ends that you have on this piece. So let me just yarn my needle with those. And then to sew in some ends, we're going to just go underneath some stitches that we made here. Okay, and then just come back around. Just like that, okay? And then cut any extra you may have, just like that. Stretch it out, and there you have your seam up this side here. So now what we need to do, we have this thumb hole right here. We are going to crochet a little bit of a cuff for the thumb. So grab your yarn. Let me see here, where's my yarn? And my yarn's all tangled, so we have to grab some somewhere. There's some right here. Alright, so we're going to grab some yarn over here. Sorry about that. And we're going to grab our thumb hole here, and we want to start anywhere around it. Right in here is good. And hook on that color, the new yarn right there. And we're going to just single crochet, so chain up 1. Okay, and we're going to single crochet evenly 8 stitches around. So anywhere your hook fits, just go in, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, that's a single crochet. So we're going to do 8 around. So that was 1. Go wherever your hook fits, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. That's 2. Go in right over here, I guess will be good. Yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2. So that's 3. Here's 4. And I'm going to go way over here to kind of close any gapping. If you see any gappings or anything, you can kind of eyeball it. There's 5. Here's 6. 7. And I need 1 more down here. Here's 8. Alright. So now I have 8 stitches around. You can see my first single crochet right here. I'm going to slip stitch into there. So go in, yarn over, pull through, and through. And then chain up 1. And now rows, or rounds, I guess, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're just single crocheting in each stitch around, and then slip stitch to the first single crochet, and then single crochet, or chain up 1 and go on to the next round and single crochet around. So we're just doing 5 rounds of this in total, so I'm on round 2 already. And then when I get back around, you'll have 8 stitches in total for each row. And I have to untangle some yarn, and I will just single crochet all the way around. When I finish round 5, I'll show you how to fasten off, and we'll go on to the next step. Alright, the next step is to fasten off. So when you have 5 rows done, let's see here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we are going to slip stitch to the first single crochet. So go in, yarn over, pull through, and pull through, and then we can chain 1 and cut the yarn, pull that through and pull it tight, and then grab your yarn needle and sew in your ends, and then we'll be done with this one at least, and then we'll just have to, you know, obviously rewind this video and make 1 more to make the pair finished. So just sewing in this end just like that. Oh my goodness. There we go. And then cut that, and I have a little loose end right here too. I gotta cut that. Be careful with your scissors. You don't want to, you know, stab yourself or anything. So there's that one. So now we have to try it on. Moment of truth right here. Make sure it actually fits. Ooh, lovely. So you can see the seam down there, but that's going to be on the inside of your hand. So when you flip your hand over, you won't even see it. How awesome are these? Oh my goodness. And look at that. It fits all the way up to my elbow. Oh, these are so long and beautiful. I love them. Thank you so much for watching and learning how to make this. Just make 1 more. I have one off camera here made. For this hand. There's no right or left hand because we seam it up, so it's seamed, and there's the thumb hole, and there it is. Thank you so much for watching and learning how to make these warm waffle hand warmers. I love these so much. I'm gonna go out and play in the snow, and I have to put on my Warm Waffles hooded cowl too. So make sure you check out that video tutorial using the same Willow's yarns, and you can see the whole matching set on my website and learn how to make yours also today. So make sure to check that out. Share your photos on Facebook and on Instagram, and hashtag YARNutopia when you post on Instagram so I can see. Make sure you Snapchat me now. Snapchat me in your fingerless gloves, and have a great rest of your day, everyone. Happy hooking!